The world is a dangerous place these days. Probably the two biggest stories in foreign affairs are the rise of the Islamic State, a savage terrorist group that has its own mini country now, with 31,000 terrorist soldiers, many of them Muslims who have come to help them from the West, including from Canada. And of course, there's the Russian invasion of Ukraine, perhaps even more terrifying since the invader is a nuclear power led by a former KGB agent, Vladimir Putin. The world is suddenly very serious again. And Canada is rising to the occasion. Yesterday, Petro Poroshenko, the president of Ukraine, visited Ottawa to personally thank Stephen Harper for assisting Ukraine so vigorously, not just with sanctions against Russia and foreign aid to Ukraine, but even more importantly for the symbolic things Canada has done, for helping to frame the conflict as a true battle between Putin's authoritarian regime and Ukraine's Western-oriented democratic aspirations to be a sovereign country, as in to put things in terms of right and wrong, to put them in terms of Canadian values. Canada may not have as many soldiers as the United States or United Kingdom, but we are more rhetorically and politically clear and supportive than either of them. And Canada has agreed to help fight against the Islamic State too. Not with soldiers on the ground, but our Air Force is helping to send military equipment to pretty much the only good guys on the ground, the Kurds. Canada's looking good these days. We're leading again. We're not trying to find a consensus between good and evil to split the difference or be, to use a liberal foreign affairs phrase, an honest broker. You can't compromise with Vladimir Putin or Islamic terrorists. Harper knows that, and Canadians do too. And the thing about foreign affairs and military affairs and diplomatic affairs is that they're serious things. They're grown-up things, the kind of thing you can't just get through by having great hair and tweeting a lot on Twitter. No, suddenly whoever is the best celebrity or the cutest candidate just doesn't matter as much as judgment and experience and knowing what you're doing.
Did you ever think that maybe there's more to life than being really, really, really ridiculously good looking?
Yeah, you said it, Zoolander, which is a bit of a problem for Justin Trudeau because he's got the hair and he's got a lot of Twitter followers, but he really has no clue when it comes to foreign policy. He just really doesn't know anything about anything. And all of a sudden, people care about foreign policy again. The beheadings of Westerners by the Islamic State terrorists is the most followed news story in the past 5 years, according to polls. So Trudeau is suddenly feeling politically vulnerable. He doesn't dare oppose Harper's policies on Ukraine or the Islamic State. First of all, they're politically popular. Second of all, Trudeau doesn't actually want to engage with Harper in a debate or even to answer basic questions from the media like, so what would you do instead? So what could Trudeau do? How does he differentiate himself from Harper without getting on the wrong side of history here? How does he sound smart, even if he really doesn't have anything smart to say? It's a tough one, eh? Well, here's what he did. He said that it was important that Canada's Parliament have a debate over Harper's plans to send military equipment to the Kurds. Okay, fair enough. Let's get a discussion going, even if it's just to put the party positions on the record and air the issue out. I don't think we ought to put every military tactical decision to a vote in Parliament. That would be absurd. But to have a discussion about something like this, good idea.
Mission overseas should have parliamentary debate and oversight, and that's certainly what's going on tonight with the emergency debate we called.
Whoa. So not just a debate, an emergency debate? Trudeau announced that. He called it an emergency debate that would call all MPs back to Parliament for an emergency. An emergency.
Emergency debate, emergency debate, emergency debate.
Wow, now he was sounding like a grown-up. He was taking charge, taking the lead, if not to do anything, at least to talk about something. And so Parliament had an emergency debate, just like he requested.
Emergency debate, emergency debate, emergency debate.
But Trudeau wasn't there. Let me say that again. Justin Trudeau said it was an emergency. He called an emergency debate for MPs. Justin Trudeau is an MP, the MP who wanted to debate in an emergency sort of way.
Emergency debate, emergency debate, emergency debate.
But then he didn't show up. He just didn't. As in when the emergency debate was emerging into debate, Trudeau was not there. He was skipping work again, as he usually does. He actually has one of the worst attendance records of any MP of any party, but this time was supposed to be different. It was his event, his emergency debate. He called it. So where was he? His absence was so glaring that even the media party, which normally wouldn't ask him any questions tougher than say, "What does it feel like to be so dreamy?" Even that media party had to ask, where were you? Well, he wouldn't answer them.
Why weren't you there?
First of all, I have tremendous confidence in the Liberal team, and I'm happy to be able to count on an extraordinary team of parliamentarians to put forward and explain the Liberals' position.
You want to be the Prime Minister. Should you not have been there?
Yeah, he didn't answer. An emergency debate that he calls, but he didn't attend. In fact, only 5 Liberal MPs spoke in that debate. Their own emergency debate. I think the Islamic State terrorist group is a very important issue. And I think Canada's response is very important. Now, maybe you don't, but Trudeau said he does. He said talking about it was an important matter. He said it was an emergency.
Emergency debate, emergency debate, emergency debate.
But he wasn't there. What, did he have a more pressing emergency? Like what? I mean, do you think he saw some bride on her wedding day and just had to do his wedding crasher thing and barge in and kiss somebody else's bride, a girl 20 years younger than him? Was he busy having a kiss other women emergency? Or maybe it was at a funeral, like he was for Jim Flaherty's funeral, and he had to leave the funeral procession for a super emergency because some fan wanted to take a selfie photo with him. That really happened there. Or, you know, I mean, happens a lot with this guy. He has a lot of selfie emergencies. I mean, I don't know where he was. He wouldn't tell reporters. You saw that. Must have been important if he skipped his own.
Emergency debate, emergency debate, emergency debate.
Was he, I don't know, at community college taking some extra courses to get smarter on foreign policy? Here he is being briefed by his advisors or something. Did he see some hot chicks in yoga clothes and just felt he absolutely had to do some voter engagement? I don't know. Do you know? I mean, where there are girls, there is Trudeau. Was he busy, you know, dancing? It had to be something super emergency important like that. Who knows? Maybe I'm being unfair. Maybe he was thinking very hard about the debate issues like Muslim extremists, like when he campaigned at the Wahhabi mosque in Montreal, the extremist one, where they advocate killing gays and adulterous women and infidels. Trudeau says the answer to Muslim extremism like that is to engage Muslim extremists. Maybe he was doing that. Or maybe he just totally lost track of time, man. I mean, the guy has bold new ideas about time and space.
We have to realize that the way of thinking that got us to this place no longer holds. We have to rethink elements as basic as space and time, to go all science fiction-y on you in this sense.
Maybe it wasn't science fiction-y. Maybe it was something else. Maybe he just forgot what time it was. Who knows? Maybe he was busy meeting with Chuck Raffici, the chief financial officer of Trudeau's Liberal Party, who until last month ran a massive marijuana grow operation, a legal one, mind you. I don't know. I have no clue. I do not know where Justin Trudeau was. Do you? Must have been important. Where do you think he was? Well, we're going to find out. We've set up a website, wherewasjustin.com. Where was he? Do you know where Justin was? If you do, please tell us. You can tell us in words, or in pictures, or in video. You can even use your imagination. Where do you dream he was? Taking selfies? Kissing some girl? Sticking out his tongue? Sticking out his tongue somewhere else? It must have been important. After all, it was. You know.
Emergency debate, emergency debate, emergency debate.
Tell us your best guess. Send us your best photoshopped picture. We'll show you the best on tomorrow's program. and the winner will get a Sun News prize pack. Go to wherewasjustin.com. Seriously, it's an emergency.